I joined the army, but you know, I had to go and see a girl. I got pretty keyed off at the draft board.
Ah.
I didn't have a draft, no draft card. I didn't know what the hell it was. Let me see a draft card. I don't have one. When I went to join the army, and everybody got a draft card. No, I don't have it before you even had this cushy job, is what I told them.
Yeah.
And they were so self-important.
So you joined the army then, and where did you go to boot camp?
Where did I go to?
Basic training.
Training, I went to Fort Dix and then Fort Lewis.
Oh. Well.
I went from Albany, how was it? I joined the army. He says, come back tomorrow and get sworn in, and I did, with another bunch of, I suppose a half a dozen guys. A lot of them, I guess they were all being drafted, but I joined. I wasn't drafted.
Well, now once you went to boot camp, where did you go afterwards?
As I went to Fort Lewis, let's see, we went to England and then Holland and Belgium, just a short stay here and there.
Were you in the infantry or artillery?
Engineers.
Engineers, okay.
I asked for the engineers and I got them. And of course my working in the woods and compass work and running all around the country, and knowing where I was, I mean, it's part of the job. You could.
Sure.
It was just a matter of. I was just doing what I always did.
So how long were you in Europe? How long were you there in Europe?
How long were you in the army?
No, in Europe. You were in Europe, right?
In here?
No, Europe.
Oh, in Europe?
Yeah.
Oh, hell. Boy.
6 months, a year?
Oh, no, it's several years. Let's see, we got married when?
We got married in 45.
Oh, okay, 45. I'd forgotten, that's just a part of my life.
Sure.
Never thought of it since.
Well, did you have to get involved in combat or anything?
I'm sorry, involved in a...
Did you have to get involved in combat? Were you involved in combat?
No contracts.
No, did you get involved in combat?
Oh yeah, sure, every day.
What happened?
Oh, nothing. I never got shot, I got blown up once or twice, but never got shot. God was good to me.
Yeah?
I was blown up with other guys and blown 10, 12 feet through the air a couple of times.
You were blown up? What happened?
Nothing to me.
I mean, would you kind of take a bomb apart or what?
No, it was a booby trap.
Oh.
I come up from the south, going to this one place. I come up from the south. I had a crew behind me, a patrol. And then oh, never mind that thing.
Well, I wish you...
And then, let's see.
You got into a booby trap, and it went off.
I was coming up from the south. The English fellows were coming down from the north. We were right on the border. The English, and we were here, Americans. And I was meeting up with the English quite a bit, the Lamies or whatever. Because we were working side by side. And so I just, this time we got that movie trap. I was coming north and this guy was coming south, another American. And then, so we were going this way, and the English were coming this way. They were going east, and we were going north and coming north and south. Anyway,
who set the bomb off? Booby trap.
The Englishman did. I didn't. Thanks the good Lord for that. I was right. the guy that touched the booby trap off, well, it was just a pile of some branches across the road, small trees and branches, and then there was an extra bit of brush there, and we met right there, and in that brush they had hidden a teller mine. Knew it was a teller mine by the way it exploded and the sound of it. And you know what they were. They're about so big, about 12, 13 inches, about that thick. I think they had 11 pound of TNT in them. And when that went off, we all went through the air. But guys behind me, the guy right behind me, he had no eye, big hole in his head. The guy ahead of me touched it off. He was full of holes. His shirt was blown off. And I didn't get a scratch. God protected me all the way. I mean,
wow.
I know that's what it was. I never got a scratch. I just got up and first I said, oh, the poor son of a bitch, I thought. And I grabbed my rifle, I was going to shoot him, and I can't do that. You can't do it? Look at him, nobody would have known. I was going to shoot him in the head and finish him off. But I held the rifle, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
okay.
That's all.
The reason I brought this out is he wrote this, he quit this writing his, let's say, it's not a life story, but incidences. He quit writing it when he got a stroke, and so it's only up to 1955. But this section here is something of the Army. So I don't know if you're interested in
I'll look at it,
reading.
yes, thank you. Did you have any other experiences of booby traps going off or anything else?
Oh, I guess so. I put it all out of my mind, I guess I did. But I know we would never go in and let's say, go into a house and it looked nice, you know, and oh gee, sit in the toilet and use the toilet. Now we always went outside because we wouldn't trust anything, anybody, because other guys did and they got blown up and but so yeah, it was.
Well, you were in the engineers, so what did you build?
Oh, we built bridges mostly. Well, bridges and actually, and we fought as infantry too, because we worked with, and we fought with the tanks. They assigned us to a bunch of tanks, us and a bunch of tanks, and any big attack we were fighting as infantry. Never got. I never got wounded, and.
Was the war over when you got out?
Oh yeah, I got out and let's see, it was March. I remember it was March. What the hell was that about? 45, 46.
We got married in October, and you were due to come back to the States in earlier, but you stayed behind.
The war was over then.
Because
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you were in the service, did you lose any buddies? Did you lose any friends?
Oh yes.
To what? Rifle fire or?
Oh, rifle and machine gun and artillery, you name it.
Wow.
My driver was killed by rifle fire. My Jeep driver, I was always on recon and we worked as a crew, but then the boss was a major and I was a master sergeant, and we just worked as a crew. We had a driver, and we got to split up because one day we were going to get bounced off, and about a day or two later, he ran into a machine gun, and our driver was killed, and.
Now, when you were in the service, did you lose any buddies? Did you lose any friends?
Oh yes.
To what? Rifle fire or?
rifle and machine gun and artillery, you name it.
Wow.
My driver was killed by rifle fire. My Jeep driver, I was always on recon, and we worked as a crew, lieutenant. And boss was a major, and I was a master sergeant. And we just worked as a crew. We had a driver, and we got to split up because one day we were going to get bounced off. And about a day or two later, he ran into a machine gun, and our driver was killed.
Do you remember?
I didn't go with him. See, that's the day we decided to split up.
Oh.
How I was taken care of him, and taken care of by the Lord, because,
Do you remember, what country were you in? What country were you in when this happened?
that was somewhere in Germany. Let's see. We didn't stay long in Holland or the Belgium, just a short while, maybe a couple of
The
weeks.
Rhine River.
Huh?
The Rhine River, Jülich.
The Rhine River.
The Raw River, or did you call it the Rhine River?
I don't know. I haven't even looked at that book. I wrote kind of a life story some years ago. The kids. I haven't even looked at it.
Well, I'll look at it.
It don't matter.
Any other close calls you may have had?
Oh, lots of them. I mean, I used to go out and recon. My job was, I don't know how to explain it, but we had I was with an engineer group, and then we worked with, like, the 1st Infantry, the 2nd Armored, we worked with them. And we did a lot of their work for them. They wanted certain bridges up, we put them up, and then they come in behind us on the bridges. And this was, I can remember the infantry saying, I would have that job for anything. But, I don't know, we weren't completely slaughtered, but we lost people. And, I don't know.
Where were you when the war ended?
I was over in Germany, someplace in Germany. Went to Garmisch.
How did you know it was over?
Oh, I heard a lot of shooting one day. Everybody was out of a bullet, and the rifle was banging at them. As the word got into the headquarters there, and the guys got showing, the war's over, everybody was shooting. And those that had a bottle of whiskey drank it all up in one gulp. The officers had wood. Let's see, I was made an officer. That's about 1 month before the damn war was over with. They gave me a field commission. That's what it was. I was a master sergeant, and so they had what do you call it? A call on one day. Call out to assemble one day, and I used to go out in the morning and see what the situation was. And that's where we had a situation map. Then I come in and get this map updated, and I used to sneak around as far as I could go, and this way and that way, and see what Americans were next to us on each side, and what Germans were there. And you look at the bodies and so on, and you know what Germans they were because of the insignia and so on. And I go out, that was my morning job. I go outside every morning about 4 o'clock. I just get up and go, and I just started doing it. I just started doing it because I had a situation, man. What the hell? You can't tell what the situation is unless you have a map to show them, and I put a map up there. So every morning I'd have that. When I come back, then all the officers in the group would come in. It was the group headquarters that I was in, engineer group. So we work with different, 2nd Armored, 1st Infantry, different ones. We work with them, and so I just tell them who was where and whatever it was, and describe the situation to my boss was a colonel in charge of the whole outfit. And, well, actually, my actual boss was rating a major. He got shut up pretty bad just before the war was over, and I never did see him again. But
So now, when the war was over, did you go home right away?
no, I stayed. Oh, and I wanted to get married and finish the job with America. And I had met Pearl in England before the invasion, and we corresponded during the war. And so she said she'd marry me,
Mm-hmm.
and so.
Now, when you left Europe, where did you go? To New York, and then home?
When I left here, we came to let's see, Fort Dix, and that was it. I don't know how.
You mentioned that you landed on Omaha Beach
Omaha,
on June 6th?
June no 5, or D+5, June 11th. And the Germans were still bombing us when we landed. That was June the 11th. D+5.
Okay. And then you...
D was the 6th.
And you came off a ship onto shore?
No, there was, let's see, I think they call it LCM, Landing Craft Men.
Right.
So we came off a ship onto the landing craft, which were,
Right.
they could drive them up on a beach,
So you went on to Omaha Beach. There must have been a lot of fighting going on then.
Well, it was,
Like?
yeah, a little bit.
Okay. And you ended
Not
up...
a lot, a little bit still going on, and they were still shooting at us.
Okay, you went to the hedgerow country.
Oh, hedgerow country in France there. Yeah, that was, there's something. The only way to get through the hedgerow, they finally found out by whittling on some prongs onto the front of the tanks. And using them as dozers. These long prongs about 1.5 feet, 2 feet long. 2 of them, one on each side. Then they'd run into the hedgerows, and then that would tear them up, and then they'd open a little doorway in there.
Right.
Because,
You said that you were in Bavaria,
yeah,
the first into Landsberg prison, where Hitler had been a political
Yeah.
prisoner.
I was aiming, I knew we had been there, and I wanted to get whatever I could get. Somebody got there ahead of me, and the jail, the prison, the jail he was in, I'd forgotten about that. The cell he was in, the Germans, of course, he was their leader, their Führer.
Yeah.
And they had a plaque over the door about, it was going when I got there, about so wide. Somebody got a hold of that. It just described that he had been there and told how long and so on.
Oh, okay, okay. You said here you You went into the prison that was formerly the Dachau concentration camp?
Dachau, yeah.
Dachau.
Well, I fixed that up. I had a platoon up there, and Dachau. Let's see, there's Dachau, and the prison system the Germans had was designed after the American prison system, a great big open. There were cells on the outside, and then the floor, of course, was inside for various group use. But then there was one, I think it was three. There was 3 tiers around it, and they had built walkways so that the walls would be this way up on each side, but then it was each of them walls was in 3 floors, and they were divided up so that they were divided up so that there was 3 floors of, say, prisoners, and then the Germans had done that, and that's where they kept their prisoners, and that is, call them civilian prisoners. And of course we used it for German prisoners.
But you had to make it suicide-proof.
Oh, we made it suicide-proof, yeah. And so they had these 3 tiers of walkways going around. Well, anybody that wanted to commit, and they did, a few of them jumped over when we stopped that. They would get up and take they were in the prison, say, in one of the cells there. They walked along, they jumped over to commit suicide. They jumped over the top, 1, 2, or 3 floors up.
Now, this is the Nazis?
That's the German.
Okay.
The Nazis, the Germans. They call them all Nazis, all Germans, you know. There was no discrimination of who's in. Of course, I'm a Nazi. I'm a good German. I'm not a Nazi.
Yeah.
But you hear that all the time. But
sure.
Anyway, so that's what.
So you said you had a German Tiger tank shooting at you.
Yeah.
But he missed.
Oh yeah. I tell you, that was an experience. I could look up. Oh, there was a. What's his name? Not his name, but he was what do you call him? A reporter. He wanted men, and I was going down from we have a headquarters, and then you have a, so I heard this shooting like hell going on, and what the hell? And then there was 3 Germans had come out with waving a white cloth.
Right.
To surrender. And they get out there, and they were closer to our line than I was. They were over there behind me, and of course they ignored me. I was just one guy. And they come out from the building, and the guy in front, he dropped on his hands and knees, and then the other 2 guys behind him, he had a machine gun tied in his back. And so he dropped on his hands and knees, and the guy, and the second guy then, started shooting a machine gun that was on his back, and the 3rd German was feeding the machine gun.
Yeah.
See? And well, then they got just a few shots off. They were all all the engineers were there. The infantry hadn't got into the action. And anyway, all the engineers and all of my outfit, they opened up and they shot them guys, or shot them.
Who was the lady?
Teresa Newman.
And what?
She was a German woman, and she developed the stigmata, wounds of the hands and feet, and crowning of thorns that Christ had. And every Friday she went through the Passion of Christ and through the agony, and went through the agony of the death of Christ.
I got pictures in that book.
Yeah, he just took photographs of it.
In that book of her.
Yep, got it.
I've seen her and talked with her and held her hands
and she lived
yeah.
for. Okay, go ahead. Good. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You met her.
Oh yes, several times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What caused the bleeding?
I'm sorry.
What caused the bleeding?
It's natural. In other words, Christ, when he was crucified on the cross, they drove nails in his hands and his feet. He had a crown of thorns in his head. He has all that. She had a wound in his side. Of course, we didn't see it, but the garments she wore, I saw them. They were on display because I went and joined her pastor was talking with American doctor and I think an English doctor. I'm not sure which. I kind of forgot now. And in the army, they were in service, but he was talking with them, explaining about her.
Did the doctors examine her?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's been examined by many doctors. She went against her will. They finally sent her down to Whitley and all over to hospitals. She never ate or drank.
She never what?
She never would eat or drink. She went for years without eating or drinking, just received Holy Communion in the morning.
How'd she stay alive without eating?
That's it. Miracle.
Mystery.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's mystery. Yeah, that's all documented. That's all her life is. I have some stuff on her life somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah, that's all documented and been proven. Most people would say I did.
They did what? Did they send her away someplace?
No, she lived on that place where you saw there was her home, and she lived there all her life. Yeah. And she didn't go out and work. She just lived with her parents, and I would say she lived until she was what, 60 or 70 before she died.
I got her.
Yeah,
they say she never ate or drank.
Given her thought for.
Was that documented?
It's documented. Yeah.
She never ate anything.
Never ate or drank. Yeah, except for communion.
No food or drink.
Yeah. I know it's amazing.
People won't believe it.
Yeah.
Can't believe it. But anything is possible with God, and that's what it was.
Oh,
He so decreed it, and that's what happened. She didn't.
I didn't know about that.
Eat or drink.
Wow.
Well, you know, and I don't know if you're Catholic, but
No.
many Catholics haven't the faintest idea, because it's not something, unless you've heard about it, read about it, and Arthur had read about it while you were in Albany.
I was in high school when I knew about her.
When he knew about her.
And she survived the whole war.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
even though the buildings and everything were all damaged around.
And the Germans hated her. The army, the Nazi end of the German army, and they tried to destroy her and kill her, and they shelled her house and everything else. The house has some shell holes in it, but it wasn't that bad. I got a few pictures of it. They couldn't destroy her either.
Wow.
She wasn't supposed to be destroyed. Let's see. It's
interesting.
I think I have it in the dates of her birth. I don't know if she was born on Good Friday or died on Good Friday.
She was born when?
She was born April the 8th and 9th, midnight on Good Friday in 1898. And she died September the 18th, 1962. Mm.